Hello.
Hello.
Brittany hops on and says, I'm so annoyed.
I'm like actually kind of pissed.
Well,
So,
why?
I'm just coming home from my little Pilates. I just had a great little sesh.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moving truck, massive, blocking my entire driveway.
Mm.
And I was like, hey, I need to get home. Can you please move your moving truck? And they were like, okay, sure. And then I thought maybe they might try and go in front of my house again. And I was like, make sure you don't park in front of my house. We have to come and go today. And he was like, hey, neighborhood, 29's an asshole, or like something like that. And I was just like, excuse me, bleep my number, by the way, just in case. I don't think it's that crazy, but I was like, excuse me, you are fucking blocking my driveway. Like, why should that's not an asshole move. You're the fucking asshole. You're the asshole. Why are you
not
and we
believe
like
they said that.
and the neighbor that like they're moving has been so annoying. Like one time, the guy was leaning on Joe's Jeep, like back leaning up against the Jeep,
Not okay.
watching his whatever was happening on his roof. And Joe was like, can you get off my car? And he was like, I live there. Like, that's my house. And Joe's like, I don't fucking care.
It's not your car.
Get off my car. And like the guy was just like had no sense of like anything. And I was
So are
just
these the
like,
people moving out?
yeah. And so that's why I was even more like, fuck you, get out of my driveway.
Yeah.
Like, because Joe has to go to the gym. Like he's, we have things to do.
Oh
Yeah,
my
why not
God.
just keep your truck? Otherwise, you're
On
going
the
to keep
street.
having to
Also,
move it.
the house that they're moving is like it's part of the neighborhood and then part of like the normal street side too.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just park your car on the street.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually wild.
Like, so sorry, I'm fucking inconveniencing you. You're inconveniencing me. I would tell you to move. I'm about to tell you to move your truck 50 times today.
Mm-hmm.
We've got things to do, like places to go, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally a law. Like, you can't block sidewalks and other people's driveways.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do you feel so entitled to block my driveway?
crazy.
I can't believe he yelled that to the neighborhood. That's actually crazy.
Yeah,
I know.
that is
And he just
crazy.
did it to like, I'm like, why don't you just tell me I'm an asshole to my face if you really think so?
Yeah, so passive
Like,
aggressive.
no one else is outside their neighborhood.
Has
Just
there
be like,
been,
hey,
like,
bitch,
other
you're an
problems?
asshole. What?
Has there been other problems?
Besides the whole truck thing, like him leaning on the car. No, like the people that actually, I think like it was his daughter and like her family that lived in the house. And then we don't really know what happened. Like we didn't ask, but like they were moving out.
He's acting like
So-
you've been beefing for years or something. And like,
Well, the
like,
moving
what
people have
fuck?
no connection to him or us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just bizarre. I don't know. People
Wow.
like,
my blood would be boiling for
I
sure.
don't know.
But I'm
And-
so non-confrontational.
And I'm like also like a little late too. So I was like, hey guys, like get moving.
Yeah.
Like get out of here.
oh my
And
God.
I don't want to deal with it again. Joe was like, park on the street. I was like, no. Like I'm a get out of my spot.
I would have just parked on the street.
No. I was like, hello, excuse me, get out. Like they weren't paying attention to me. I was like, hello, excuse me, like please get out of my spot.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Just my morning fun.
I'd go
That
fight
is
them.
crazy. The last time I dealt with that, the person was like, I'm so sorry. Like, they were so nice in my neighborhood.
That's what you'd think.
I know.
Those raspberries look like so good.
It's raspberry season right now.
They look
Oh.
like really
Yeah. They are
Beautiful
so
color.
good and juicy. Like, highly
Good to know.
recommend. I've been eating them, and they have 8 grams of fiber for 100 and
Oh my God, I
16
need
grams.
fiber. I've literally been tracking everything and I've got fiber gummies. And even when I take 4 fiber gummies a day, I'm still under fiber.
do psyllium husk.
The fuck is that?
It's like a fiber supplement. You can get it in powder or pill form, but I'm doing it in powder. But if you mix it with like protein, it's pretty good. But you have to eat it right away, otherwise it kind of like jellies.
What do you track your diet on?
Chronometer. It's the one that Cameron's nutritionist had him use. And I really
kind of
like
am
it.
interested.
I just use MyFitnessPal.
That's
I
all
just have
know.
to triggered pass from MyFitnessPal, so I can't use
Yeah.
it.
It is kind of annoying because they like the way they look at it is if you exercise, they like give you more calories, and that's not the purpose of exercising. And you like have it's better to track like your macros with it. I focus on more of my macros versus my calories. Like I look heavily at macros.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like eat enough protein and like hit the main
Yeah.
vitamin groups. I just got a prenatal vitamin actually because I was like, my multivitamin really doesn't fill up a lot. Like I'm always under on
Yeah.
potassium and stuff. So I looked at this prenatal vitamin and it has like double everything and like
That's
way more
smart.
extra stuff.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I have to get on some sort of like multivitamin.
But you're really good about like focusing on all the groups and making sure you have everything anyways.
Yeah.
I just don't trust that my body is like absorbing everything from a vitamin.
Dude, I was thinking about that in the shower yesterday. I was like, how the fuck can this little pill like contain 130% of daily value of like these 15 different things? Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I know. I also have such like a hard time trusting vitamin companies that they're like putting all the right stuff in what they say they are doing versus like they have fillers or other shit in them that we like don't need.
Yeah.
I bet Ritual is actually a good one because like you have to take 2 of them and I don't know, they just
Ritual is
claim
probably
to.
a good one.
I almost got their prenatal one, but there was this other brand. I don't even know the name of it. Oh, I can look on my Amazon.
Your hair's about to like grow like a weed.
I know, I hope so. I should have started. I love that I'm starting all of this a week before the wedding.
But you're gonna be a healthy girl.
I love that. I've done better at taking my vitamins. That was like my Q1 goal is like get good about taking vitamins. So I have been, but like it's called Thorn is the brand.
I've heard good things about Thorn.
Yeah, Cameron has like a few supplements, like his creatine and stuff is Thorn, and it had good reviews. So
yeah,
we shall see.
But one thing I was actually talking to my person about was just like, you know, dogs, like you're like rotational feeding them like helps like their microbiome and like helps get more stuff for them, like get more nutrients and like I don't know, all the benefits of rotational feeding.
Yeah.
She was like, I know it's easy to like eat the same thing over and over again, but like you should also rotational feed yourself. At least like the fruits and veggies that you're eating, like pull new ones out, like, you know, so if I'm eating a lot of broccoli, like the next week I can eat like more asparagus or I don't know, more kale or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, like that's so hard for me to like think about because I just like have such a good regimen and like I swap out like one meal. With my lunch I've been like swapping around because I'm like bored of certain things, but my breakfast I have like down so good with like my ground turkey, and then my dinner is usually like some sort of chicken. So I'm like, what else am I supposed to? I guess I could eat like fish, but sometimes it's like easier to prep like
turkey.
Just like one kind of food. What?
You could eat turkey.
Well, I already eat turkey in the morning, and then I have like turkey lunch meat throughout the day.
Ground beef.
Yeah, I'm like I have the ick from ground beef right now.
Yeah.
The smell of I was like eating it for a little while. What?
Steak.
Yeah, but that has a lot of fat sometimes too. So
you know what? I'm hearing a lot of excuses coming out of your mouth today.
I know. It's just, but the thing for me, it's like, so I'm like tracking it to get my like macro counts and stuff, and so like I have a good idea of like things to replace it. Like for example, with like if I swap turkey and chicken, like those are pretty much the same fat content and like protein content, but then if I go like fish or steak, then it throws off my whole fat for the day, and then I have to like rearrange multiple things versus like just one meal.
Yeah,
so it's kind of an excuse. I just have to do like an overhaul.
Could you like because ground beef they have the like 10% fat, 90% lean or whatever, but like with steak, if you just cut around the fat, then would that really lessen it or no? Because
filet mignon is like really good. It's pretty lean and it doesn't have that much fat in it. So I've tried that, but it definitely takes a little bit more rearranging the other things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just
it's so hard deciding what to eat every day, 3 times a day. It's like
I wish there was
like
a way
5 times a day, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
No.
I wish there was a way to like more regularly test that, like what's going on in your body, Like, I wish I
know.
could regularly, if I start taking a vitamin, then like in a month, test my vitamins myself and see
Like
like if my
at-home
body's
blood work.
actually
I know.
absorbing the vitamins, or like if my body's actually, the fiber is making a difference, or the magnesium or whatever.
That's so true.
Because you don't really know, and that's why it's
No.
hard to keep doing something when you're not sure if it's making a difference.
I know. I wonder what's like a norm, like how often your insurance would like let you get blood draws. Because I
Probably
like want to
once.
go, huh?
Probably once a year.
I know. I know it's definitely once a year, but I don't know if like how much it is other than that. But like there's also other like I need to get a idea of like how much other tests are because I want to get. I've been reading this book called Outlive. I'm like obsessed with it. My dad, like, I think I told you guys, like, he sent it to my house.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me he sent it. And then I was like, okay, I'll read it. And then I like started listening to it on the way to Aspen. And I'm like obsessed with it. It has like so many good, tangible things. And it's like really focusing on increasing your healthy life just versus like increasing your lifespan. Because like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to be like live long these days.
Like a vegetable, yeah.
Yeah. And just like have, you know, medications or bedridden, whatever.
Yeah.
But he talks a lot about like how do you increase like your healthy life, and so I'm like really focused on like trying. It's like more motivating and inspiring to do that. Like this book has helped me like have more of a purpose for that versus just like losing weight, being more toned, whatever it is. Because I think sometimes those are like arbitrary. Like okay, you've hit X number, like great, like now what? But this is like there's so many little things to do, and it's not even like really what you look like. It's all about your like blood work and what's actually going inside your body. Because there's this like one guy, he said he like was really fit, like looked great, but his like it's called lipoprotein B, and it's like an indicator of like arterial sclerosis, basically like heart disease. And it can be like a marker of like heart attacks or like just arterial problems. And so
And how
like
did he find that out?
with a blood test. So you can test for it in your blood, but he like outside he looked great. Like you would never think anything was going on.
Is that one of those ones you have to like tell them to test for?
Yes.
I'm
So that's where
so
like
fucking annoying.
I know. And that's where like he was talking about there's multiple little things you should ask for. Like they don't even
know.
I know, me too. Now I'm like, I need the whole list. I don't know if he has
I just bring a list and be like,
I will. I literally will. I'm like,
you're gonna be getting like 40 vials of blood.
They're gonna be like, ma'am, I think you're gonna have to come back tomorrow to get more. But it like helped him like lower that, so it like lowers his risk of like heart disease and like incidences with heart disease. And I was just like, that's so cool that there's all these like preventative things you can like look at instead of just your like overall like what you look like healthy person.
First of all, that reminds me of two things. One, in my nutrition class in college, the teacher said that I was skinny fat.
Oh my god, did you know my boss used to tell me that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope. Nope, he used to tell me that, and then one time the guys that I worked with had to go and have a talk with my boss and say, you can't talk about the girls' bodies.
What would he even mean by that? Because like my teacher said it like when I did the InBody machine, and like my body has like a high fat percentage.
It's like if we were talking about working out or like wanting to go hiking or something, and I'd be like, I don't like doing that, I don't want to do that or whatever, he'd be like, you're like my ex-girlfriend, you're skinny fat. Just because you're skinny, your BMI is high or something like that. And he always said it like he was teasing me or joking with me, but it always pissed me off, and I would be like, no, I'm not.
That is like horrible.
I know.
Call HR immediately.
That is like the most fucked up thing.
I know.
It's but crazy. Like even in your case, Maggie, if he's doing like the InBody scan where you like might have a higher fat percentage, you don't call someone.
And it was in front of the whole class.
Like yeah, those are sort of moments where you're like, you like look back and you're like, I wish I would have said this or that.
I know.
How did you react? You were just like, haha, or
I was like, okay. And then I was like really sad after.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, and like it stuck with me too. I'm sure it stuck with you too. That's so crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's like people like society needs like a lesson on like what you can say to people and not say.
It was like an older woman, like probably 60s or 70s. So typical.
Yeah.
I just cannot. That is so appalling and ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy. But also I took another class on longevity, like you were saying, of like even though our lifespans have increased so much throughout time, it's like such a large percentage are just bedridden or not actually healthy, and we're just being like kept alive type of thing. So it was like saying all the things that can help you live longer, and a lot of it they focus on mental health too, like how much being stress free helps, and
it's crazy.
But
also the other crazy thing too was he didn't give like any specific diet things. He was like, here are things you can try, and not like he wasn't like you should be like trying the Atkins diet. He was like, get more protein, like focus on these areas, blah blah blah. Like here's like different structures you can test. And a lot was like on movement, and then a huge section was like a whole chapter was on like mental health too.
That's so cool. Yeah, they say literally just walking every day is so
but he gives like even more tangible things with it. He's like zone 2 walking. So like if you don't have like a heart rate monitor to test that, it's like it's kind of a little hard to have a conversation, but like you're not out of breath. Like if you want to hit like a zone 2 walk. But that means that you're just like in a fat burning state versus
if your just heart rate is up higher at a certain level.
And not like too high, because if you're too high, like it could switch on to like glucose burning. Like you could be starting to burn more glucose, which is fine. That's like your body needs to be able to do both, but like a lot of people need to like lose fat, and so
which is interesting. I need to get a heart rate monitor. My ring pisses me off because I got a walking pad. It's sitting right next to me.
And I your steps.
No, it like was my lowest step day, and I walked on my walking pad for like 40 minutes. And then I went to the mall after that and walked around the mall. And I was like, how are my steps so low today when I literally walked on the treadmill?
I'm going to try my walk. I've not tried my walking pad with my ring, so I'm going to try that today.
It pisses me off.
That's crazy. So should I not get one?
I saw that they were 15. My coordinator said they were 15% off for Prime Day.
I saw that, but I was like,
that is insane. I like wish I would have waited maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Friday.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will do a Black Friday sale. I kind of think it's crazy that they did an Amazon Prime Day sale.
That is kind of crazy. Maybe like from Best Buy or something, because they sell them there. Well, anyways, welcome back to another episode of So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devon.
I'm Brittany.
Today, we got a question from one of our listeners who said, would love to learn more about how you get ideas for content, how you're shooting and editing, and all the gears and programs you guys like to use. Would also love advice for anyone who's looking to start creating content. So we figured we'd just do a whole episode on it, because we could probably talk about it for hours and hours and hours.
And we haven't talked about this in a long time.
I know. I feel like our perspective probably has changed in the last year.
Probably.
Especially just like, also, I think the longer we do content creation or like in this space, we just have even more different perspectives on it. Like what we thought about a year ago and like how to keep going kind of thing. Our advice probably is different from a year ago from today.
And that it changes so much.
It has changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's very saturated now, so it's just a lot harder than it was even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Should we start with like softwares and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys use?
I mostly use my phone. For YouTube, I use a Canon M60, I think it is. Oh, M50.
M50. Do you have the newest iPhone? I don't even know what fucking numbers we're on now.
I do, yeah. 15?
15.
Yeah, but I just feel like for some reason for me getting out my computer or going to my computer is like an extra step that makes me not want to do it. Like it's the overwhelming of it makes it a little bit harder. So being able to do everything that I can on my phone makes it easier and quicker and more convenient for me. So like I'll keep lists in my notes app for content ideas, and I'll edit in CapCut on my phone. And yeah, it's just more convenient.
So that kind of brings me to a question of like a year ago or 2 years ago, like I know you're using Notion more. What kind of like sparked the change? Was it just like convenience that it's on your phone now and you don't have to go in the app? Like even if you are, because I know you're using your iPad before, right?
I tried. It's like those times I was just lying to myself a lot, thinking like I'm this organized girl who can have a bunch of this. Like I was watching organization YouTube videos and I was like, I want to be like that. And then I just realized like this isn't for me. So
yeah,
for sure.
I definitely think, but with that, I think like treating your content creation like as a business, like and taking it seriously from the start versus trying to train yourself after the fact, I think can be really beneficial, because if you're like already into like different habits 6 months to a year in, it's kind of hard to implement like organizational strategies and like processes and stuff.
But I feel like there probably has to be a balance of like also having fun with it.
Yeah. But not treating it like a business, I don't think doesn't mean having fun with it. It just means like being intentional about posting, kind of like thinking ahead, like building ideas, and like putting your mindset to like this is a long game versus like, oh, I just want to get to like 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers or something. Like really committing to it, I think, is really helpful. Even if you like don't really know what's going to come of it, I think having that commitment right away makes such a difference than like being like, okay, I'm just going to get to this point and then drop off.
Sure.
And that's why I think you have like such a good perspective on it, just because like you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I was gonna say like going back 4 or 5 years ago, most people were not starting to create content to be a content creator. Like for me, a lot of us just started, we wanted to be creative and like, yeah, we wanted to be like a creator, but we weren't thinking it was a business, you know? And now people are starting today, like, I want this to be a business. So I don't really know how that is, because I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's different of starting with like dog Instagram too versus like if you were like a fashion influencer or something, like something felt more contained or something like in the dog Instagram world where it felt
you didn't have to show
easier.
yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like I made like most people are like, oh, I made a separate account for my dog because I want to be able to spam my dog on Instagram.
But I feel like even now, people starting dog accounts, they started with the intention of like maybe like 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, people are still just like starting a dog account for fun. And now they're really starting it like, I want to make money on this and I want to like grow and quit my job.
Which that's so crazy. I don't know.
It is crazy. It's cool, but it is just, there's so many people. I just feel like I'm noticing like people are getting less and less brand deals, and just like there are more and more people going viral, and it's not making a difference because it's like everybody's going viral, you know, everybody's getting 100,000 views on their shit. So it's like, it's rough out there, I feel like.
For sure. There was a time, like I remember like every day I'd get like at least 300 followers, like just every single day, and it was so crazy. Like I'm like, oh, I got 20 followers today. Yay.
Yeah. I got more followers than I got followers.
Literally.
But I think like that even brings up to the point of like there's so many waves with that, because there are sometimes like even if you don't have things going viral but you have like consistent high video views, like you kind of bring in a lot of followers. Like that's actually one of my clients was asking me that. She's like, you know, I haven't really gotten that many followers. I'm not growing the same way. And I was like, well, like, and then I kind of brought it back to the analytical side, and I was like, well, your videos have like, you had like 5 or 6 million plus views and then 5 like over 500,000. Like that's just going to naturally bring in so many more people to your community versus like you're still doing great, but like they're just not at the same level. So you're not going to be used to the same like, oh, you have like 1,000 new followers today notifications. So then like how do you ride out those like dips?
You just do. Yeah, I've been doing this long enough to know that as well. Like there are times when you're losing more followers than you're getting, but then 3 months later you get a big bunch of
Chunk,
followers,
yeah.
and then like it just kind of ebbs and flows. You're not always going to be steadily growing. Sometimes you're just maintaining.
But paying
and you just
attention
gotta
to
keep
those
going.
trends, like part of it is out of your control kind of, but like paying attention to those trends and what you're posting when you are getting higher views and more followers and everything is really how you do it. It's like, oh, this is what people like.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, sometimes that's not true. I mean, I obviously did that, and that's how I'm like maintaining currently. But also, it's hard with the algorithm to be like, oh, this video did really good, I'm going to recreate it. And then it's like, oh, that video, why didn't that video do good this time when it did a month ago?
Yeah. I think it's really hard to track your analytics and like your overall like insight sometimes. But I think that is one thing that can really help people, like especially when they're growing, and not just looking at like a week, like looking at an entire month and seeing what did good. Because like you're saying, Devon, if someone's just focusing on, okay, last week I did this video and I just recreated it and now it's like shit, you only have like 2 videos to compare it to, which is kind of hard. Versus if you have like 30 different videos, then it's easier to kind of look at everything. Even like shares and saves, I think those are like way more important now than they were before. Like people were just focusing on likes and comments and I guess impressions and views before.
Yeah,
for sure. It's definitely like you have to think of it as like a long game.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard when you're first starting, because like even just starting a new platform, like I just started posting on Threads a little bit more. I was like stoked to get like 100 followers. You know what I mean?
I know.
And you're like, I'm excited for literally 2 people to like my thread.
Oh my
like,
God, I know.
It's at a totally
it's more
different...
like fun at that point.
It is. But it's like, I guess it's also kind of hard to like, there's almost like blind excitement with it. Like you're like, oh, I don't really know what's coming. But then like once you have like some success, you're like afraid of losing it. And I think that's where like people get stuck. They're like too afraid to try new things. And that can kind of stunt your growth, because sometimes trying those new things is what like helps you pop off and enter like a new space.
For sure.
I'm guilty of trying new things and then it not doing well and then not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
1,000%. It's because it's so hard. Like you have to train yourself. Like, but then when it's literally like a year plus and it's still not, it's like, okay, what? I don't know.
Yeah, that's my constant fight with TikTok.
I know TikTok is a real bitch right now.
It is
for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've been like really happy with my TikToks are like, I was stuck in that like 200s jail for so long, and now like every single week I get at least like 6,000, 5,000, 4,000.
That's so really nice. Good.
Just obviously it's not like great, but for me it's
dude,
like,
that's like what I get, and I have 1 million followers, so
that's what's crazy. I actually just saw this girl that her bio is like, everyone says, why do I have 1 million followers? Because she like at the very beginning of TikTok got like 1 million followers, and her videos get like a few hundred views. And everyone's like, why is this girl on my For You page? And everyone's like, are these bots? Like, did you buy all your followers? And she's like, no, like I just got them in the beginning, and now like I don't get my videos shown to anyone.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But then like there's still those people like Alex and Nara that just get like 15 million views on like every one of their videos.
For sure. But that's also the riding the wave of like trends at the time, where there's always like so 3 to, I mean, probably like 10 big creators that like everyone's talking about. And then it's like you then have to keep that momentum of like Michaela, what's her last name?
Oh yeah,
her views really aren't that great right now at all. Like, but
really,
yeah, because it really goes up and down like when everybody's talking about you, but then things like settle a little bit and you kind of just keep your main audience versus like the people who are going because you're like trending.
Yeah.
Even Alex recently was like, what is it
called? Am I shadow banned?
Yeah, shadow banned. And then I looked at her views and I was like, oh, poor you, your videos aren't getting 1 million views. Like, but still,
but they like are still getting 1 million.
Noticing.
It just takes like maybe 2 days, 3 days to get.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Can you imagine?
One thing I think it's important to talk about too, that I think you both have a lot of different experience on, is like how important creating content that you enjoy creating versus just creating for brands or creating for your audience is, and like how do you like strike that balance?
I think more than just creating content that you enjoy, you have to find the balance of content that you're good at too. Like, I mean, I've tried a lot of things that I enjoy, but it's not necessarily my space in the content world. Like, you kind of have to find your space, and mine has not been the aesthetic thing. Like, I enjoy aesthetic videos so much, but for some reason they just don't, me and aesthetic videos just don't mesh. So you have to find your like space in the world, I think, and stick with that.
That's
for
great.
sure. Yeah, I agree. I've been thinking lately of the balance of like dog and humanness and whatnot. I feel like not that there's like pressure from literally anyone whatsoever. It's like maybe just pressure I put on myself of like, oh, I really want to make it more like me focused and do more aesthetic-y things and blah blah blah. But it is like the dog stuff still like I really enjoy it, and like I like it a lot, and it makes me happy.
You like
and I feel like
connecting
I'm
with
good at
people
it.
on it.
Yeah, and you have
then
cute
like it
dogs and
always
you're funny.
performs better. Like so I
Yeah.
think I need to not like backtrack almost, but like kind of go back a little bit. Like to not all the way. Like I think still like changing my username and all of that were like good decisions, and I think still mixing in things is like good decisions, but I think more of a balance of like more, if I'm doing vlogs, like make it more a little more dog focused, because that's like how my actual life is. Like it's almost like not like lying, but like when I'm trying to make like more aesthetic-y vlogs, that's not, it is how my life is, but it's cutting out like a huge chunk of
that's
my
so
actual
interesting.
days.
So almost like just creating content that revolves around your life, like not trying
like
to
authentic.
edit your life too much
To a specific way of how you want it to look. Like
that's what I was thinking about too, with like, because I have obviously been in like a very big content slump. Like I don't know what I want to do, I don't know where I want to go. But one like realization that I had was like, with my Rosie and Brit page, I like was cutting out this entire business. Like I didn't like, this is everything I do every day. I'm sitting at a computer, I'm on calls like all day. Like this is my work, and I'm just like not including it. Like that doesn't make any sense. And that's why content creation was like so hard for a while, is because I was trying to like edit that out and not share it. So
and people are really interested in it, but it's just like sometimes your brain tells yourself like, oh, like people wouldn't be interested in that, or like people don't want to see that. Like sometimes for my membership, like whenever a lot of the time, like several times a year, I'll be like, oh my god, like I don't know what to post, like I'm sorry if I don't show everything, and everyone's like, we don't care, like we just want to see extra of anything. But like you get in your head and think like, well, that's boring, or like people don't care about that.
I think so too.
Or not enough people care. Like, oh, only 200 people liked this. I'm just like, that's a lot of people.
When you actually think about numbers, it's like so weird. I was telling Cameron last night about the invitation thing of people seeing our invitation that we talked about in last week's episode. And he's like, I was like, I just didn't think it'd be a big deal. And he's like, no, I've been thinking about all the wedding things. And he's like, it felt like, you know, when you pitch a brand and you like put all the highlights together, like he's like, you have a combined 70,000 followers, you reach millions per month. Like
I love that so much.
I was like, you're right. That's so cute. Because like I don't feel that way about myself.
You should definitely like anytime you're having like a bad day or like bad content, be like, Cam, can you just give me the stats?
I know.
You should have him make
so
a little
funny.
intro for you. Like wake up to it. You know, when people introduce someone on a show or a podcast, have him introduce you and be like,
replicate
the him and her like thing. He's it.
Something like that,
That's funny. Because you get in your own, like to me, because I'm so in the world, it's like everyone's so much bigger than me and I'm like so little and blah blah blah. But then it's like if I talk to a stranger and they're like, you have 50,000 like if somebody follows me that I meet, they're like, wait, what the fuck? Like that's crazy. And then it kind of makes me be like, even the bank teller yesterday was like shook. Like just she was like, so fetch, that's so cute. And she was like, I need your information. And then she was like, can I have a code for that food that you posted and everything? Like it was so
God,
cute.
that's really cute.
But I don't notice those things until I'm like with strangers, basically.
I hate how like people that are kind of in my life, like still tell people her dog's famous.
Yeah.
Her dog's famous. I'm like,
oh my God, I know. But it's so
thanks.
misleading because then they go to your page and you're like, where's your dog? It's not my dog.
Oh, can I see your dog? What's your Instagram? And I'm like, she'll pop up on a video, but you're gonna have to scroll back a while.
It does make me feel less uncomfortable though.
My dad does that to me. I'm like, yeah, she's there.
It's
But
cute.
also, like, I haven't been posting, so it like looks even more lame. Like, oh, like your videos only. I mean, I don't know if other people are really looking at that, but like,
I think
I
only
think probably
creators
not.
are looking at that. Creators and brands.
yeah.
Because I go at my competition. We're not competition, but like the people that I want to be like or whatever. I look at their views and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I think another thing that's kind of missing at times is like really thinking about who your audience is and like really knowing your audience, because that can be so much more powerful, like for the type of content you create and what's like going to resonate with them. And then when you're like pitching yourself, like being able to talk very confidently and knowingly about your audience, I think makes a massive difference too.
I'd say that's like almost one of the biggest things for sure, is like knowing that and then connecting with those people.
With all of the like social media coaches and all the shit, like people are so focused on views and engagement and like they're missing that like connection to who they're talking to.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, whatever, you're trying to get more views, but like you have no idea who your audience is. And
yeah, you're
like,
just seeing it as numbers.
And there's so many things like that now. There's this one program that I get ads for all the time. It's like this girl and these two guys, and it's like, we found the formula. And honestly, it's a really good ad. Like, it's a really great ad. But they're like, we found the formula to making viral videos, and you can get a viral video every time. This creator, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they sell you this course or whatever, but then the people who buy the course then sell the course as well. And like, that's the main
it's like MRR.
What does that mean? I'm like, that's like the worst. It feels like pyramid scheming. I don't like it.
It's like a new thing that's trending. But this is also just like on that topic, because we're like not in that. Like whenever I see stuff about it, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. There's so many people who don't even know what that is and like are not concerned about it. But then like I follow a few people who were like posting a ton about it. And I was like, you guys are making this such a big deal and putting so much focus and emphasis on it. Yes, it's around. Like, yes, it could be a problem, but like you can remove yourself from it. Like anytime you like remove yourself from a certain situation, I feel like
for sure
it's so much smaller. Like even did you guys like look at that King Jewelers video that I sent you guys?
Oh, I clicked on it, but it was just her profile. Like it kept not pulling up the video.
I forgot to say
well
that too.
She has like, so basically she put like King Jewelers on blast because they apparently like lost her ring and stuff. I feel like TikTok, I was like telling this to John, I don't know if he got it or not because he like doesn't care, but I was like, TikTok loves a victim and then they love an underdog. So whoever the victim is blaming, they love to understand like how that other person is not actually in the wrong, and they want to like build that person up and like make them an underdog like hero type of person. And so now like there's been a bunch of videos of jewelers being like, there's no way that like she's right about this, blah blah blah. So there's a bunch of people that are like posting about King Jewelers, and like King Jewelers hasn't said anything. And I'm like, honestly, they're probably going to just ride this out. The more videos she makes, the more noise they get and the more money they get and the more awareness they get. And there's going to be probably people that are like, fuck you. But then there's also probably a lot of people that are like, oh, I'd love a like family jeweler, like small business. And they're doing like right by their customer, whatever.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like, and there's so many situations like that.
It's even like the sepia wedding photographer. Yeah.
Like Clinton probably could shut up, or he's going to keep making videos because he's probably getting so many streams on Spotify and shit. Like,
yeah, maybe
there's no reason for him to kind of like.
Also, I wonder though, like,
I mean, I heard his song so many fucking times recently, and I would have had no idea just because of people from TikTok. Like, I've been seeing him like shaking.
Ew, I hate shake. Oh my god,
whatever the fuck.
The shaking is very ick.
I know, and the lip licking and
But I think there's like so many people, but there's probably so many people that are like, go Clinton, like you're amazing, blah blah blah.
Your song changed my life.
I really don't.
You know that I mean,
small percentage.
It's similar to another famous narcissist that we know of.
Who?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
Yes.
No matter what he says,
Devon's on political TikTok now.
Devon's
I'm excited.
Kamala Stan.
I was getting excited this morning.
Kamala.
Like, it is so fun. It's the same way I felt voting for Hillary Clinton. Of like,
I know.
It's just so cool to like be able to vote for a girl. Like,
it feels good to be like excited about your vote too.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, obviously, it's still obviously not like she's not a perfect person, and she has a lot of things in her past that aren't great. But like, overall, it's still the better option for me.
Donated to her, like when she was, what was she? Attorney
General?
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that kind of shows.
$5,000, $6,000.
Back in the day, Trump was saying, he was like, if I ever run, I'll run as a Republican because they're all idiots or something like that.
What?
Yeah. But also, like, obviously, he agrees with all the money
thing
policies.
I wish there could be like a section where you could like take money. You could vote money wise.
I know.
You could vote like socially. Like,
well, that's why it needs to be just more in the middle on everything. Because like,
yeah,
I would definitely
because there's so many people that like
money.
I guess I don't know, but the majority of people, I feel like you have to make so much money for any of those like laws and shit to like actually help you.
Yeah, like the tax break things and whatnot. Yeah. I just saw a video too about this guy. We can move on from politics. This guy was talking about like how Christianity. He's like, I was like born a Christian. I've taught everything about Christianity, and like that the Republican Party is the Christian party, and like you don't want to vote Democrat because of the Republican Party is like the Christian party. And he's like doing a series where he breaks down like all the things of what makes that untrue and why a lot of the Democratic policies are more so godly, and how Jesus would act, and feeding the poor and treating everyone equal, and all of the things that like are actually religion. So it's interesting. But anyways, CapCut. So I love CapCut. I really do. I think CapCut's like the best. I used to use Splice. But CapCut just has so many little features and stuff where it is probably the closest to like editing on a computer and using like
and it's free.
Premiere Pro or Final Cut.
Yeah,
and
it's amazing.
I had to pay for Splice.
Yeah, it's actually so sick that it's free.
And it's nice you can automatically export to TikTok. There's so many things. Victoria taught me.
Then it's not being saved on your device if you just export to TikTok.
Yeah, that is nice. Well, I think it still saves, but that might be a setting you can turn off. The biggest thing Victoria taught me about CapCut, which changed my life, was the like adding beats on sounds. So then like all the cuts to make on the beat of the music. That changed my whole life.
Oh yeah, what setting is that?
You go to. Do you put like, say you're editing a video to music? Do you edit it to the music, or do you add the music like after once you put it in TikTok?
Depends.
Okay, I automatically opened up my email versus opening up CapCut. Sorry about that. But I put Devon forward for a US based streaming device, and the girl said Devon is perfect in all caps.
What is a US based streaming device?
Streaming service.
What does that mean? Like Netflix?
Maybe. It's like a long-term partnership though.
Wait, they don't say what the brand is?
No, it's like a casting. I get like a lot of
opportunities. What if
am I going to be on a show?
Something?
I have no idea. I was just like, I saw it and I was like, Devon immediately. Like, has to go.
Oh my god! What if it's probably like Amazon?
I hope so.
Yay to breaking your.
I feel like every time we say something publicly, it doesn't happen.
I don't believe that.
Delete it from the episode then, but I also don't believe that. Anyway, so you go if you have a sound in.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have the sound in? Like separate music.
Let me find a song.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready. I don't know if this is the smartest move, but like you can directly import sounds from TikTok. But what I do if it's like from Instagram or TikTok, I always screen record sounds, put them in the CapCut, and then add it. I don't know if that's like works for me.
I'll like upload it and then delete the video and keep the sound.
Oh, yeah, that's smart too.
Okay, I have a sound.
Okay, click the sound.
Okay.
And then you're going to scroll over on the menu to beats.
Okay.
And then you click auto generate. And it'll say auto beats. And then if you put it on intense, that's like every single beat, or you can slow it down so it's not every single beat.
Okay.
But then it shows you those little yellow dots are the beat of the song.
Oh, cool. Oh, I see that.
You can then make the cuts to make it like.
Wow, that's
so sometimes
so
I can
cool.
edit without like even listening or anything because I just like move the video to the beat.
That's really cool.
God bless Victoria.
I feel like there's so many things that we don't even know about that CapCut can do.
They have that clone one where you can take two videos and then like put yourself next to each other.
Oh,
like where it looks like the same background.
Wait, what?
There's like a lot of I feel like editing is kind of back right now, like doing like really unique and different edits are like really in, like not transitions necessarily, but like doing more complex editing.
Because I think that shows like it just makes you different and makes you stand out a little bit. Yeah. Also lighting, I'm like so bad at that, like because I'm just so lazy and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna film this video in my kitchen, but I got that light that like just attaches to your phone, and I noticed on TikTok like my views are always up when I'm using the light versus not. But I feel like Devin, you'll always have good lighting. I don't think that's like,
you do.
Your house has really good natural light in general.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I guess, do we have more questions about like ideation? Like how do you guys get ideas?
I don't know how to give advice on this because like I genuinely just never run out of ideas in my life. Like I'm never like, oh, what should I do? Like it's like I have too many ideas.
What about like getting started? And because I feel like that's almost like a muscle or a like thing that you can build over time. And
it's kind of like, you know, when you're deciding like brands to work with and you can go throughout your whole day and be like, oh, I use this brand. This is my skincare. This is my duvet. Like there's so many brands that you use throughout one day of your life, even if you think like, oh, I don't know what brands I like. I don't know what brands I work with. Literally, you just go throughout your day. So I think for content, if you're doing more lifestyle or about yourself and stuff, you can also kind of look at your day and be like, okay, I can make a morning routine out of this. I can make a video about my bed sheets. I can make a skincare video. I can make driving to go get my morning coffee. I could like going throughout your day. There's like 100+ videos in different styles too. And I think that's good to mess around with. Like if you want to do voiceover or having like original audio, or if you do things to music a lot, or like what style you like. Yeah. And try everything out, and like not once, like hundreds of times.
Yeah, it's fun when you're starting out because you haven't even done anything yet. So there's so many. I mean, if you want to be a content creator, you should probably have 100 ideas already. Yeah, at the start.
I do think that what do you do about like idea overwhelm though? Because sometimes people have like a issue or problem people have shared with me is like they have too many ideas and they have no idea like what to film or start with.
My system is like, first we kind of came up with buckets of content. So like food, hair, vlog, you know, let's say it's just those three. And then in a notepad, I'll just write down all the ideas I have at the top of my head right now. So I have all the ideas on a list, and then I'll get a calendar and I'll like place them on each day of the day that I want it to be posted, like each individual idea. And then so you can kind of like have a full week or month's outlook of what video is being posted. So you're not like doing 3 hair videos in a row or whatever. Yeah. That helps me like feel like my ideas are getting organized.
I like
that like it also fully depends on what type of planner you are. Like for some people that's really good to like write for a whole month or 2 months, like each video idea. Batching videos, a lot of people do, where you do like 10 videos in a day. I can't do any of that. Like I more think of the different like buckets, and then I just make sure within a week that one of each of those is posted at least, or like that there is not the same thing over and over and over again in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think the like figuring out your like filming style can help a lot. Like not just like filming style, but like you said, you don't like to batch like 10 videos in one day. You like to do like
Yeah, and that fully
1,
depends what
2.
type of videos you make. Like if you make little short ones where you just like need B-roll and some text on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think like everyone should, if you're starting out content, start like practicing voiceovers and like talking to the camera and integrating like even if you're starting out like and you're just doing like the intro like, hey, come go on a hike with me, and you're talking to the camera. I think that's really important because that is like a huge differentiator when it comes to you versus other people. Like forget about brands, but like I can connect with you specifically versus like if you're just doing a lot of aesthetic like music trends, like I don't really know your personality. Like sometimes I can get an idea of your humor if you're doing those type of videos, but I don't really know you. And if you think about like so many ads, I would say almost like 75% of ads are something to do with a voiceover or talking to the camera. And so like if you are trying to monetize it, it is important to have those examples to show to a brand. Because if I'm like if I'm pitching somebody or like if I'm casting and looking for something, like for example, right now I'm working with a competitor to Big Soda for like UGC videos, and
What
I
does
need
that
like
mean?
I can tell you guys later, but
Like Poppy?
not Poppy, but I'm like under an NDA, so I can't.
But Big Soda, I'm wondering, what does that mean? Like Coke?
Big Soda's like Coke, Pepsi.
Okay.
Like
I see.
yeah. But they're looking for like people that are funny and like satirical. And so I can't tell if you don't have like any talking videos. Like I have no idea like what type of personality you have if
100%.
that. So if like someone sends me somebody, like I put a note out to like a group I'm part of and there's no talking videos, I'm like, I'm not gonna like make the brand go through this and try and find them either.
And if you're like uncomfortable doing that and really nervous to post, I think stories are also a great way to like get practice at it, where like when you're at the beginning stages and just need to get comfortable like literally talking to the camera and posting it, because it almost feels better.
Too comfortable in stories. You gotta put it on the feed too.
For sure, but like it's a good I think like way to ease in to like you get immediate like connection and responses, and like
that's fair. It less
goes
editing,
away after 24
thinking.
hours, like where you don't need to be like, because a lot of people are just really nervous of just talking to the camera or having a video like on their feed.
Yeah,
like a lot of people start out that way.
The story thing is so complex because like as an audience, people enjoy your stories. Like a lot of people don't even scroll on their feed. I mean, they go on the Reels feed and stories, and they like catching up with you on your day in your stories. But then it's like contradictory because brands want you to be posting everything because they want to be able to see it later. They want to be able to like, they don't want it to expire in 24 hours. So I think Instagram is hard because I don't know which fucking one to post where. No. Sometimes some people do both. Like they'll post the full reel in their story as a story and also post it as a reel.
Interesting.
And my audience has literally told me like, I don't know what you post unless you put it in your story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do. It's almost like a maintenance thing, stories of like keeping people involved with you and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when you get new followers too, I noticed that like because usually, I don't know, like I think like if you follow, I don't know if that's actually a thing in the algorithm, but like if I follow someone new, then usually their stories do start popping up at the beginning rather than just like the normal people I see. So it's like a good way to then connect to with new people who follow you from maybe like just one reel that they saw.
Yeah.
To like get them to know your personality. But
and
yeah, it's so, not like the end all be all.
It's really hard to find the balance of like being enough but not too much because people will quickly get sick of you. So it's hard because it's like, yeah, post everything everywhere. But then also like you don't want those people who are actually watching all your stuff to get annoyed by it.
Yeah, but I also need the reminder a lot that not everybody sees everything. Like,
No.
I know, but like it's the ones that like really like you that do see that you posted it everywhere. And
yeah,
those
but
are the
then they're
ones
usually
that,
not annoying. Like, I see all your shit
hopefully.
everywhere and I love it. Like, I'm not like, "Ugh, why'd she repost that?"
But you're also a creator. So to my followers, if
just
you
your
see me,
friend.
I'm just out here grinding. So
Trying to fight the good fight.
yeah. One day I'll make it big and I'll take all of you guys with me. Just stay with me.
In your big house.
Yeah, we'll do group introvert trips. That is literally my dream. Is I want to have a big cozy house where everybody can just come to me, you know, because I
know,
don't
same.
like traveling that much. So I just
But
want, I want people
hate
to be with
unexpected
me.
visitors as well. I'm like, I don't want people in my
You
house all
have,
the time.
I don't have that problem. I don't have people just
Do you have
showing up at my
unexpected
house.
visitors? People have to like fly to see you.
No, yeah, I don't. But that's why I'm like scared. My dad, we have to change like all of our locks, and he gave me his house key, and he's like, just make it the same as my house key. And I was like, no, like that is unnecessary. I was like, I'd feel better about it because you don't live here. Like, you're not just gonna really show up unexpectedly. But
Yeah,
like, no.
That's so funny.
Maggie was like, do you have family just coming over all the time? And I was like, no, they never just come over.
Yeah, I think that's a my family problem.
Yeah.
That would be goofy.
And not even like that they just come over, but like that they would be like, oh, let's hang out like multiple times a week, where I'm like, now I would be comfortable with it, but when I was in college and high school, I'd be like, I'd
You
feel
were
bad
that.
saying no and
Yeah.
like being people pleaser. So that's the issue. How do you guys feel, or what is your advice on like trending audios?
I like them.
I think
You
they're fun
notice
to
it
do
helps
something
a
like
lot,
related to your, like, you.
or like
Yeah.
even using just like music that is currently trending. I mean,
don't
not
think
even
I
just like
I
music
try to
anymore.
use music that's trending for things if it's a video that I'm not talking in or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it helps. I just like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I like
usually
this song
we
right
like
now.
trendy music.
Yeah. Also, I think it's good to just mix in short, trendy videos because it gets a lot of views, like, because they're so short, so more people see it.
Yeah, but
I
like
need
Britt
to
said,
be
not
better
only
at that.
that.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you do a good job of balancing all of that.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like Maggie does better than me.
No, because I go through phases of where I'm like, just when I'm busier and I don't have time, and then it's just like more lame videos like that. That's also a huge reminder for people starting out, is like people it's weird because like a lot of points are contradictory, because you're like, people do care about the boring things you say, but then also it's like people don't care about you at first. They care about what you can offer them, and like if they want to send that post to somebody, or if you're teaching them something, or if it's really funny and they want to send it to a friend, or more things like that. And then eventually they'll like you and your personality, but like that is a growth. It starts from you giving them something.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of hard. Like, I think sometimes it's like easy to be like, okay, giving something to my audience is like 3 tips for blah blah blah. Like, and I think you can do it in like a much more like natural way. And like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, it can be inspirational. Like Devon, like talking about like how she's embracing being an introvert, like
making people feel less alone, I think is like a huge thing.
That's what I've found is my purpose in this world. Is you know, so I try to stick to that vibe.
And it could be like anything, like you're, you know, sharing your experience like with a reactive dog, or sharing your experience moving across the country, sharing like
having
how
a canker
you switch
sore
jobs, or what?
Having a canker sore. They don't always have to be like big, huge things either, because also you have to think about longevity and posting every single day. And so I think I'm having to get better at like, it can just be a short little thing that could make an impact. It doesn't have to be like your whole life story or your whole trauma backstory or anything.
Yeah, that's so true.
If it's relatable, you know, it could just be like, I have this massive canker sore, I can't talk this week. And then everybody will be like, oh my God, that happens to me, you know.
That's why I think Christina Kirkman does a lot of like little videos that are like funny bits that are just relatable. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember one that I just saw, but like I think she has a good mix of those where she's just like, it's under a minute and she's just kind of like chatting to the camera, like talking about something that's relatable.
Yeah, she's really good. It annoys me how much energy she has just because I don't even have a fraction of that energy.
Yeah.
Like just when she gets on and talks, she's just like so full on and I'm just like, oh,
I
I
feel
wish I
like
could be like that.
part of it is because she's an actress. Like she's able to turn that side on. Like she's playing, like she probably has some of that in her personality, but I feel like she is playing a character kind of in her content sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm not good at playing a character, so like if I'm not being genuine, it's cringy.
Yeah.
Like you can tell.
It's just like a character of one of her personalities.
Yeah, she's good. She's good at social media.
But a lot of people also do really well creating like a character. Like it helps them be more able to be like full out there and stuff because they're like not themselves and they're this character for online purposes.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. That'd be so fun though. Like if you just had a full like different personality and you could just, but it'd be hard.
So I feel like sometimes people on reality TV, like Scout the City in Real Housewives of New York City, she plays like the villain kind of. I mean, the producers really like kind of framed her that way, but it works for her. Like everyone knows her. Like everyone, like if you're thinking about people to remember, you remember kind of like Jenna and Sai.
That's good then. Yeah, a lot of the times, like Bachelor, all these reality shows, the villain does end up like being more one of the most famous ones to come out of it.
Yeah.
But then you have to do a really good job like on social media after that, like showing that you're not like actually evil. She's turning around though.
But she doesn't like that pillow.
Yeah, she tries to get it off. Cute girl.
Is that Sadie?
What the
It
fuck?
looks like Finn's coloring, just like from your screen.
Oh.
It looks gray.
No, that's Sadie. She brown.
Is she brown dog?
I guess she's red, technically.
I know, that's how Willow is too.
What?
It's technically red.
Oh.
She's very blonde.
That's so interesting.
She's definitely blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde. I love that. Do you use any other softwares or anything like that?
I mean, I like ClickUp for like organizing things.
Oh yeah, same.
And like building different like tools.
Yeah, I do what Devon does of like my notes app if I need like to write down something quick, but then I always move all of that to ClickUp. And I also like it's so easy to customize and make so many different categories and stuff. So like specifically for content ideas, I have like when it's just an idea and then like once I film it and then like, oh, it needs to be edited and then like, oh, it's ready to post and I have it edited and whatnot. Because also a lot of the times I can come up with ideas that is from like past footage and whatnot where I just need to like add a voiceover and everything. So like it's already filmed and then I'm just like, okay, whenever I want to edit, I have these available options to me.
I do think like especially for really busy people or people with like a 9-to-5 with like little flexibility, having B-roll clips and like a folder of B-roll it can be so helpful for just quickly like finding an audio and putting like text on the screen.
Oh, I also do albums of all of that. Like I have me and Finley, I have me and Sadie, I have Sadie and Finley together, I have Cameron with each of them, I have us like outdoors, I have B-roll of me working, I have like all albums, and whenever I'm on a plane I edit them. Like,
so when you're on the plane, you organize it?
Yeah.
Because like I cannot do that.
No, it takes
I cannot get
time.
myself to do the albums thing.
There's Kristen Busquet. I think that's her handle on Instagram. I really like her. But she like throws up a reminder to like organize your camera roll like every week, or at least she used to. And I think that's really helpful because if you have like 3 months of footage to organize, like good luck.
No,
yeah.
literally.
Me and my siblings went and we created our own candles like on July 10th. So that was 14 days ago. And me and Logan went to pick it up on Sunday and they were like, what day did you guys come in? And so I was like looking through the videos on my phone because I was like, oh, well, I have a video of it. So I know exactly what day we were here. And Logan's like standing next to me and I'm just like scrolling. Like it was literally 10 days ago and I have so many fucking videos just on my thing.
insane.
And she's like, oh my God, you have so many videos. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Welcome.
Literally took me so long to get to the video.
I was like that before, like, actually creating content, though, too. Like, I always had the most pictures and videos on my phone.
And it's hard to,
More
like,
than,
delete
like, my
them.
friends.
I'm scared that I'm gonna
I know.
need something.
I do use Google Photos as, like, backup for everything. Like, I have from 2015 to now on Google Photos, and then on my actual camera roll, it's, like, 2019 to now.
I don't trust Google
That's
Photos.
smart.
Why?
It deleted an entire like trip of mine.
Oh,
Ooh.
no. I've had
I
it
just need
for,
an
like,
external
years and
hard
years.
drive.
Yeah, I should.
That would take so... I don't even know if I could.
Like, I don't trust
It
that
would take
either,
so long
almost.
to
Like,
transfer. Like, I just feel like it would never transfer because it would take too long, you know? Does that make sense? Like, it would just...
I don't know that it was not like that painful of a process because I did like my entire like camera roll before 2019, I think, and put it on.
Then
I guess you could go into your iCloud on your computer and just
I
drag
don't
and
know
drop.
because like your iCloud storage gets full.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know the best
I
way
already
to do
pay
it.
for, like, the
I pay
fucking
$30 a
biggest-
month.
Yeah,
for
same, I
fucking-
think. Maybe it's 20 I only pay.
But mine's like 2 terabytes now, maybe, or more. I think I used up 2 terabytes.
Yeah, because I think
they
I have 2
5
terabytes
now.
and it's like 20.
That's a lot. Let me see what
The
I have.
overwhelm of storage.
6 terabytes. I pay for 6 terabytes.
It's worth it, though. To have everything. Because I originally, like, went back and deleted, like, extra puppy photos of
You
Finn or
can
videos
get-
and things.
You can get 12 terabytes for $60 a month.
Oh my god. That's
6
Wow.
is 30.
Wow,
They're
wow.
smart to do that, though.
I know. But it's
I
kinda
wonder
crazy.
now if they're going to change the AirPods. Maybe they already have with, like, new AirPods. I don't even know when the last one came out. But, like, so it has the same charger as the iPhone 15. Because now I'm like,
What
I
is
always
the iPhone
forget
15
the
have
iPod
USB-C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you get a 15, Maggie?
Mm-hmm. When
Yeah,
we
after
switched
your
to
phone was
Xfinity. Yeah.
fritzed out.
Mm-hmm.
I
love
think
it. It's
everything is
such quality.
supposed to switch to a USB-C.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They're trying to, like, automate everything.
Would be nice.
That's good. I had to buy wired headphones at the gas station before my flight the other day because my AirPods were, like, just dead, even though I charged them.
Ooh, that sucks.
I was like, I'm
You
not
gotta
about
get
to
the
do a
Bose
whole
one.
airport. Yeah, maybe I should.
I really like them.
I'm just such a brand girly where I'm like, I need all my Apple things.
Yeah.
They come in like a cute beige color, though. I feel like that
That is
fit your
cute.
aesthetic.
Yeah, because I don't like any of the Apple headphone colors.
Yeah. I don't know. What did we get any other like specific questions around like?
I know. Should we read that? What was the... did we hit everything
like-
in the question?
I know it's
Ideas for
process.
content, shooting and editing, gears and programs, and advice for people looking to start.
I feel like we covered a lot of it.
Yeah, I think so.
If
you have any more
like categorize it, but
yeah, if you have more like specific questions around this, you can feel free to leave it in our what the fuck is it called? Google form.
Google form, yeah.
I was gonna say Google Doc. I'm like, that's not correct. You can click the link in our bio in our Instagram to find the Google form. It's always there, and you can leave any questions you have anonymously, so we will not know who you are. You can also join our Patreon, where we post an extra podcast video every single week on Tuesdays when the normal podcast comes out. That's patreon.com/sogladwerefriends. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the podcast, listen on Spotify, leave us a rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.
Bye.